be showing you guys how to make one of my favorites, which is enchilada stuffed bell pepper. So I love this, and if you guys are doing like a keto recipe or something, it is definitely a good choice to make it, okay? You don't have to use any flour tortillas, nothing. But I'll tell you, this is just amazing. I got tired of eating the regular, like, bell peppers were kind of, you know, I was just like, eh. And I wanted to kind of do something a little more fun and, you know, something a little different. So then that's when I came up with this recipe. So I'm happy to share it, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so if you like your peppers crunchy and you do not like it soft, skip this step. But if you like your peppers tender, then make sure you follow this, okay? So all I did right now was just get a pot of water, and I made sure I put some pink salt in there, you guys. And then we're just going to wait for the water to get hot. Once it starts getting, well, while you're waiting, I say you should be cutting your peppers in half and make sure you take the seeds out, okay? Once you see it to where it's like mini boils or until it's boiling, that's when you know it is ready and time to add in the peppers, okay? Remember, only do this step if you do not want your peppers, if you want your peppers crunchy, okay? If you don't want it tender, don't do this step. So now as you see, I'm going ahead and adding the peppers to the water. And what I'm going to do is let that boil for about 5 to 7 minutes. The max that you can leave it in there is 10, okay? Because you don't want it to be like mush. You just want it to make sure that, you know, it blanches it so it can get tender in the oven. So after 5 to 7 minutes has passed, what I like to do is go ahead and get like a spoon or something. And I like to just go, or anything that you can pretty much use to get the peppers out. And I'm just going to place them into a bowl. As you see, I was struggling a little bit. But, you know, once you get them out, all you do is make sure you put it in the bowl. And yeah. Once we got the peppers out, then I'm going to go ahead and keep that nice hot water we got. And I put some chicken bouillon in there. I always use the one without MSG, but it's going to give the water some very nice flavor. And I just go ahead and stir it. Like I said, please make sure you clean your vegetables beforehand, because after that, the water's not usable if you don't. Anyway, so once the water gets nice and hot, I go ahead and add in 1 cup of rice. And how I like to do it is I don't cook the rice right, like I don't cook it the whole way. I pretty much let the rice maybe cook for like 5 to 7 minutes. So this way, because it's going to finish cooking in the oven, okay? So now we're going to go ahead and start on our filling. I'm drizzling some olive oil, and we're just going to let that olive oil get nice and hot in the pan. As you see, I pushed the rice to the side, so it is still cooking in the background. So be wary of the 5 to 7 minutes while you're doing so, okay? So yeah, once it's nice and hot, I go ahead and add in the onions that are pre-chopped. And like I said, we are working on our filling. Yum, yum, yum. So yeah, once I put the onions in there, I'm going to go ahead and just let them cook. So, you know, pretty much just let them cook in, get sauteed really nicely. And then from there, I go ahead and add on some pink Himalayan salt. I just sprinkle a little bit, not too much. I just went ahead and sprinkled it on there just to give the onions a little bit of flavor, okay? So then after that, I'm going to go ahead and just, you know, stir it in to make sure that the flavor got throughout. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my chorizo. I feel like, I don't know why I love chorizo so much. This is a pork one, but you can always substitute whatever chorizo you use, whether it's soy, beef, whichever one that you enjoy, okay? Chicken as well. I use this one. I use chorizo. I feel like I just love the flavor it gets up. And the best thing about this recipe, you only need 1 link. So it would not be oily. You know, because then, like somebody said, that would be no Gouda. Anyways, I go ahead and mash down the chorizo. And once I finish mashing it down, I'm just going to go ahead and let it kind of cook in place, just so I can start releasing the oils, and I can go ahead and it's going to start to loosen up, and the meat's going to get like much smaller. So all I'm doing right now is just kind of mashing it down to cook it. And once I see it start to get nice and hot, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of, you know, start working through it. Alright, once I made sure all the onions were in there, I went ahead and let it sit some. And it got nice and hot, so now I'm just kind of stirring. As you see, it's way more meaty. So yeah, and then from there, I'm going to go ahead and add in some ground beef, okay? And we already know we're going to do with this ground beef. We are going to mash it down, just like how we did with the chorizo. So I'm going to go ahead and start working in the ground beef into the chorizo. And just, you know, continuing to, like, cook it through to make sure that you want to make sure that everything is cooked all the way, okay? So, sorry guys, no mediums on this. I'm just kidding. No, but so what we're doing now is we're just going ahead and mixing it into the chorizo. And like I said, it's only one link of chorizo, so it won't be oily or a hot mess, which is good. So you don't have to drain anything. I'm going ahead and adding in some pink salt in there because I feel like with beef you supposed to cook more with spices. So I'm going to go ahead and add in that onion powder to it too. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and add in some garlic powder as well. I love garlic powder. If you don't own it, you should. Oh my God. And then we're going to go ahead and mix that through. Like I said, beef is best cooked with spices. It gets very salty if too much salt. It's more easier to cook, like put more salt in ground turkey. So as you see, I'm going ahead and adding on that black pepper. Okay, because pepper popping, and we're gonna go ahead and cook that through. Once you see it's kind of cooked better, once you see it's pretty much cooked, then you go ahead and add in that red enchilada sauce. You can use whatever enchilada sauce. I would not recommend the kind I use because I couldn't find a usual kind I would buy if I don't make it. But you know, it wasn't bad. It still tasted good. It just wasn't the best. So I'm using a medium. You can use a mild or whatever kind you would like. All right. And then that rice that we went ahead and took off after 5-7 minutes that I told you about, I went ahead and added it in there. Like I said, it's still like kind of al dente. It's not cooked all the way. And we're going to go ahead and mix that in, you know, just to, like I said, it's gonna finish cooking in the oven. Trust the process, okay? Just to also a note, you can also cook these separately. You don't have to cook the rice while you're cooking the meat. If you feel more comfortable finishing the rice first so you don't forget, you can also do that. So I'm just mixing it through, and I'm gonna go ahead and add in one more can of the sauce. Like I said, I wouldn't use this brand. It wasn't that great. If you love this brand, then hey, I just, you know, it's just not my go-to brand if I don't make it myself. So yeah, I went ahead and added in some more enchilada sauce, and I'm gonna go ahead and mix it up again just to make sure. So yeah, after that, I go ahead and just kind of, once I finish mixing, I go ahead and just let it simmer for a bit. I'm just trying to make sure that it's nice, saucy. So yeah, once I let it simmer, I'm going to go ahead and put it to the side and get my pan. And then that's when I'm going to go ahead and add in these bell peppers. Because, you know, the peppers is popping, all right? For the enchilada stuffed bell peppers, I do not like using green. I feel like it does not taste good with green, so I only use red and yellow, okay? I'm going to go ahead, once you put all the peppers in there, I go ahead and drizzle some olive oil, and I put on salt and pepper on it. You do not have to do that if you don't want, but please drizzle the olive oil, but only if you want it soft. Well, I mean, if you want it, you can still put it on there anyway if you just want it to still have a crunch. Excuse me, I can't even talk. But I would just say that, you know, I like to put the olive oil in there. It really makes it tender, and I just like how it turns out. So as you guys can see, I'm going ahead and I'm going ahead and filling it halfway. I'm filling up the peppers just halfway, mainly because I like to layer my peppers. I don't like to put it all the way through. I like to layer it with half the layer, then I add in cheese, and then put another layer on top. And then I let it cook in the oven and later on add on cheese. But it's up to you guys. If you don't like that much cheese, you can go ahead and fill the pepper to the top and just cook it and add the cheese in a later stage. So as you see, I already put in half of the mixture. And I'm basically just putting in the cheese. And then once we're done adding in that delicious cheese, all them peppers, look at that. Ooh, I use the Mexican style cheese, by the way. You can use whatever kind you want, though. Once I'm done with that, I go ahead and put another layer on the tippy top. Hey, look at that, delicious. And I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same process with the peppers. So once I finish that, well, yeah, I mean, I got to finish them first. But the reason I don't like putting cheese on top again, because once you bake it, it kind of just like, the cheese will be all like, kind of like, it won't be like nice and gooey. If you don't like your cheese nice and gooey, you can put it on beforehand. But I put mine's, you know, I like to, like, pretty much, I like my cheese gooey. So I don't put it on in the very beginning. Once I'm done with that, I go ahead and put it into the oven. And I usually put it in there for about 25 minutes without the cheese. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put these peppers up in the oven for about 25 minutes. Then I'm going to take them out and add the next layer on there for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then, yeah. So, but what I'm doing right now is just putting them in. And then you guys are going to see what it looks like after it comes out. I overfilled one of them. Look, it's already spilling over. But you can't say that don't look good. Ooh. All right, so now I'm going ahead and putting that nice cheese on top. Yum, yum, yum. Like I said, if you don't like that much cheese, you do not have to layer it. You could just put the cheese on in this stage, but it's still good to only let it cook for 25 minutes so the cheese don't get hard, and let it be gooey. Unless you don't like the gooey cheese, up to you. But this is how I make it, so trust the process, all right? I'm going to go ahead and finish putting cheese on the rest of the peppers. All right, so if you see I already put the cheese in, once it comes out, it's going to be nice, sizzly, and melted, and delicious. To garnish, I put on cilantro on top, and I went ahead and put some sour cream. Oh, there I go. Hey. So, as you guys are seeing, it's nice and tender. I'm using a plastic knife to cut through, and it's just, like I said, it's so good. You guys see, I'm tearing that food up. I'm over here thanking myself. But it is hot, so please make sure you blow. I was hungry, so I ate it when it was hot. And boy, I almost burned my mouth, but it was worth it. Y'all see that sour cream on there? Look, I almost forgot y'all was there for a minute. I was tearing that food all the way up. I said, I don't give a fiddlestick. But anyways, I'm gonna, apparently, like you see me going ahead and finishing this food. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and please check the description box for the details. I love you guys. See you next time. Ooh.